The 10 lepers, when they see Jesus, they shout out to him, "Jesus, Master, have mercy on us." Other translations say, "Have pity on us." Why do they cry out to Jesus in this manner? Because they recognize that there is something wrong about themselves. Their cry for mercy is a cry for healing. Healing both spiritually and physically. At that time, the Jews believed that when you had a physical infirmity, a physical ailment, a physical disease, and it was visible to everybody to see, it is because you had sinned. So a physical disease was as a result of having sinned, and so God was punishing you for what you did. Maybe it is not you that committed that sin. Maybe it is your parents. Maybe it is your grandparents or your ancestors, or at least somebody along the line of your family must have done something wrong to God for you to be given this kind of punishment. And that is why these people are crying out for mercy, like, forgive us because we have sinned, or forgive us because somebody in our family sinned. We are suffering like this because there is sin behind it. They cry out for mercy. And they know that when they are forgiven for whatever sin they have committed or somebody in their family could have committed, they are also going to receive the physical healing, that they will not be lepers anymore. So they cry out, "Jesus, Master, have mercy on us." It is a cry of recognition of one's weakness, one's sinfulness. When you cry in this manner, you know that there's something wrong about you, and it is something that you cannot sort out yourself. You need somebody else to help you be clean again. And in this case, it is Jesus that can make you clean again. You've been to that place, you've been to that other place, you've made yourself unclean. You've made yourself dirty. Maybe not physically, but spiritually. And so, you have to cry to Jesus for help, for mercy, so that you come back in the right path again. These 10 lepers are helping us to recognize our own sinfulness, also our own infirmities, so that we can receive healing, we can receive cleansing. But when you continue saying there's nothing wrong with me, there's nothing wrong with us, then we don't create room for healing at all. Even when clearly we do need healing, we will not create that room. Because first of all, we cannot recognize the fact that we have sinned ourselves, or there's something wrong about us or with us. So recognition of one's weakness is a very important step towards receiving healing, both spiritual healing and physical healing. You see, those people that we call alcoholics, those that abuse alcohol, they become alcoholic because they deny that they have a problem. If you tell them you have a problem with beer, they'll think you're out of your mind. They think you are the one that has a problem. So they deny that they have that problem. And that is what leads them to alcoholism, to the abuse of the substance. And they don't want to meet anybody that says anything about their abuse of the substance. They don't want that. Because according to themselves, everything is okay about themselves. And so they continually destroy their life in that manner. Because first of all, they have not recognized that they have a problem when they come eye to eye with the bottle. Mtima mwankara kaona chabe crate ulo mcrate maybe chili chonse mtima uyamba kudonta mtima. Yeah. So recognizing that you have a problem is a very important step towards healing. Sometimes maybe it is not alcoholism. We're talking about alcoholism. Maybe it is not even that. Maybe it is just a certain trait that you have which is wrong, a trait that people don't like about you, or that just disturbs everything. A certain kind of behavior that you portray which does not help you to be in good relationship with God even. With others, you have destroyed their lives, you have destroyed your relationship with them. With God, you can't even stand before God and say, I am your child, because God maybe can't even recognize you anymore. Because of that particular behavior, that particular trait. And when people talk about that, you become angry. You get upset. Why are you talking about me? Talk about yourself. Talk about your children. Am I your child? Am I your wife? Am I your husband? Am I your pupil? Am I your what? Hey, mind your own business. You know, when you begin to say things like that, then there's a problem. And the problem is not the person that is reminding you about the problem you have. The problem is you. You have a problem. When you are in denial, you have a problem. The people that have been healed, the 10 lepers in today's gospel, are not in denial. They are not running away from Jesus. They are not saying to people, we have no problem. They are not saying to Jesus, we have no problem. They are not avoiding Jesus. But they are going towards a place where they can get healing. The place where they have met Jesus. That's where they are running to, because they have recognized the fact that they have the leprosy. When you recognize the fact that you have a problem with beer, then solutions will begin to come. When you recognize the fact that you have a problem at home, you can't keep a home. The solutions will begin to come. But if you think that you have no problem at all, that's a very huge problem in itself. Finally, when we have received our healing, physical healing, spiritual healing, it is important for us to remember where we are coming from and to go back to God and to kneel before Him and say, thank you. Thank you because you have helped me to pass through that fire without that fire consuming me. You have helped me to pass through that difficult situation without being crushed by that situation. You have healed me. To remember to go back to God and say thank you. Just like this Samaritan does. The Samaritan, upon realizing that he has been healed, he doesn't have the leprosy anymore. He doesn't want to pretend as if the healing just happened from nowhere. He wants to remember where the healing came from. And remembering where the healing came from, he decides to go back to Jesus and say, thank you. And Jesus says, but these people were 10. Only this person, and even a foreigner, a Samaritan, has come back to say thank you. Gratitude is important. When you are a grateful person, you help other people to do even more for you. When you are staying with somebody, or you have a friend, or somebody who's not grateful, you don't feel the urge to do more for them because they are not grateful. But somebody who continually says thank you, even for the little things that you do for them, they say thank you. Thank you is a very powerful word. It makes others to do even more for you because they know this person is a grateful person. This person that has come back to Jesus and says thank you receives even more than what the others have received. Listen to what Jesus says to him. Rise and go your way. Your faith has made you well. So this person has undergone 2 types of healing. Those 9 that ran away and never came back, did they run away? Maybe they did, yeah. Those other 9 that never came back only received 1 type of healing, the physical healing. They didn't have the leprosy anymore. But did they receive the spiritual healing? They didn't. So Jesus does more for this one person that comes back because this person is grateful. And that's what happens when you're grateful to your friend, when you're grateful to your parents, when you're grateful to another person. This person is going to do more for you. They will do more for you because you are grateful. Jesus says, rise and go your way. Your faith has made you well. This is a different type of healing. It is spiritual healing. Something that the other 9 have not received. When you are a grateful person, you receive more, not only from the people that are around you, even from God. Amen.